What happens if you're out of work and you're trying to transition into your next job? How do you do that most effectively and easily? What you're going to see here is a bit of a journal of my experience through unemployment all the way to re-employment. Some of the things that I did a little bit differently, some of the things that I learned along the way, and I hope that that helps you get back to work as fast as possible. So with that, let's get to it. So on January 16 of this year, I was notified that my role within my company that I'd been at for 15 years was going to be ending. January 16 was a very significant day because it was my birthday, my 40th birthday, my first day of vacation in Costa Rica.
Nice.
So, yeah. Okay, so the first thing you got to keep in mind, don't freak out. More than likely, you're in this situation not because of something that you individually did, but because of a decision made at a much larger level. So don't sit there and wallow in, why did this happen to me? What did I do wrong? That's not particularly productive. What you've got to do is focus on what you can control so that you can speed up the process of moving into your next role. The other thing that you want to do early in the process is to make sure that you really have a self-assessment of where you are, what you've accomplished, what you liked about your roles, what you want in your next roles. It is a critical and very important opportunity for you to really sit down and think about what you want to do in the long term. The second thing I would recommend is that if you have the time, take some time. This may be one of the only chances you get in your career to be able to take an extended break. So take a few weeks off if you can, and try to really use that time to do a few things in particular. Take a breath. If you have the opportunity to travel, or you want to go catch up with family or friends that you haven't seen for a while, take the time to do that. Take the time to focus on yourself, your health, your well-being, and your family. Again, you don't often get the gift of time, so you want to make sure that you use it if you can. When you start the process of really getting after jobs, you want to make sure that you have a clear direction of where you want to go, and more importantly, why you want to go there. Your professional network will come to your assistance. Your network is more powerful than you can imagine right now, and so you want to make sure that you leverage it. So the first thing you want to do is reach out to as many people in your network as you can. These are people who are in the industry or that have contacts within the industry that you're looking to get into, or the role that you're getting into. But what you also want to do is continue to expand that network. I put out a brief video the other day about how every connection counts and how you can use the time each day that you have to be able to increase the number of connections that you have, and then potentially use that as a platform to get into your next role. Not only is it really cool for you to see that so many people come out and support you, but it fortifies your resume, it fortifies your LinkedIn profile, makes you even more marketable. So making sure that as a baseline, you reach out to as many of your LinkedIn colleagues as possible, have them contribute in some sort of way if they feel comfortable, and that sets you up to then go to market with your product, which is you. The next step is super important. You've got to be three-dimensional. You cannot just be another name on a resume. You've got to stand out. You've got to be different in some meaningful way. And the way that I approached this was I made what I call a 3D resume. What I will tell you is that a 3D resume tells people in a short period of time way more than any of your resume pages could. It tells them who you are. It tells them what you're about. It gives them a sense of how you communicate, how passionate you are about where you want to go. It allows you to demonstrate a little bit of creativity potentially. And ultimately, what it does is it has way more impact than sending any resume or hitting submit on any application ever will. As much as it's cringeworthy, and I'm sure there are so many other people who can do a better job than I did, I got responses back within moments of sending this video out. If you really want to focus on your personal brand, if you want to get your message across in a short period of time, which by the way, you only have a short period of time, then you want to make sure that it counts. And this is, I think, a pretty neat way of doing it. So with all the work that you've done, you've probably got a good sense of the companies you want to work for, or at the very least, the industry and job type that you're after. Now you have to start doing your homework. What I would recommend that you do is take the job that you're wanting, Look for people around that role on LinkedIn. So whether it's peers of that particular person, someone in the HR organization who's probably going to be doing the pre-screens, someone who's potentially the hiring manager or even above that, the more people you can directly reach out to that are in the sphere of influence of that job, the higher the likelihood that you're going to get noticed. So there was a job that I came across that I was very excited about. Vice President of Sales with a software company that had really cool technology, that does great work for their customers, has big name companies that they work with, but also is a relatively small company where you can have a lot of potential impact. So not only did I reach out to the recruiters and the HR representatives, but I reached out to the person who might be my peer at the company. I reached out to the person who would probably be my boss. I reached out to the CEO of the company. I sent them my individual resume, I sent them my 3D resume, and I let them know that I was very interested in coming to talk to them about what I can bring to their team. I got responses back within moments. That's how powerful these tools can be if they're used correctly. And so that might not happen with everyone. My experience may not be your experience with every company that you apply for, because there were a few companies that I never heard back from, which is fine. That's going to happen. When you really think about it, this is just a sale. You're selling yourself. You are the product. You are the person who can have a direct impact on their business. And you want to make sure that you show up the right way with tools and resources that are going to help you. You want to make sure that you're showing up in front of the right people by using that network. You're using your own network to help bolster and fortify your position in the market as a great candidate, someone who can bring value. And if you do all of those things, guaranteed you'll be in a better place faster. And if you like the content, share it with as many people as you can. In the end, this is about having a positive impact on people. And I appreciate the time that you're giving me. Thank you.